All right, let's get started, you guys. I am going to take it off here. Okay, I want you guys to know, can you see my screen? I'm going to put this in presentation mode. Okay. Do, 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 do. Full screen. Okay. Can everyone see my screen? I think it's paused. Okay, now we're recording. We love technology. Can everyone see my screen? Just put in the chat yes if you guys can see my screen. It looks like you guys can. Okay, perfect. Let's get started. This is how you parasite cleanse like a goddess, okay? We are not just doing the pumpkin seeds here and there. We're gonna do no. We're not just doing the, papaya seeds, the black walnut here and there. We're not just taking our herbs here and there and then sporadically doing it, okay? We are doing it the correct way. If you are not cleansing your body the correct way, okay, there is a chance that you're going to do more harm to your body. And we don't want that. Not on my watch, okay? I want all of you ladies here to really transform your health and actually heal from parasites the right way. Because parasites can leave offsprings, and those offsprings, okay, they're no joke. So I'm going to walk you guys through how to cleanse. So let's get started like a goddess, okay? Oops, we went ahead. Okay, perfect. Now, we always have to start with the basics, okay? What are parasites? How do we get them? What are they? Why are they here? What are they doing to our body, okay? This is the definition of parasites, okay? A parasite is an organism that lives in or on another organism, okay? The host. Essentially, we are the host because we have the right living conditions that are favorable for parasites, okay? And they benefit and derive nutrients from the host. So, yes, parasites are meant to drain and pull nutrients from their host, okay? They cannot survive without a host. So, they need organisms like you and me to survive, okay? Parasites are very, very, they're crazy, okay? So they need us to survive and live and procreate, right? I like to call parasites demons, okay? Alien invaders. These are what we call them because it makes it more fun, but also that's literally what it literally sounds like. Invading your body, draining your body, and sucking literally your energy and your health from your body. And I don't know about you guys, but this is something that I do not want. Like, can we all agree? Like, put in the comments. Do you want something or a parasite in your body driving and pushing and pulling out all your nutrients and life force? Probably not. Okay. So these are what these guys are doing. These demons. These are what they're doing. Okay. We don't want that. Now, parasites are very smart. They know when you are going to be cleansing. They know because these are organisms like you and me. So they also have a nervous system, right? They also have their own brain as well. So they know these things. So they know when we are going to cleanse. And they're very smart that way. So every time that you go to do a basic cleanse, or you have your bitters one day, or you take your pumpkin seeds, or you take your papaya seeds one day, they have a line of defense on how to protect themselves. I always give this analogy, okay? If someone came to your door with a gun, right? Are you going to stand there or are you going to protect yourself? 9 times out of 10, you're going to protect yourself. This is the same things that parasites do. So when you come in with your herbs, right, and your healthy diet, you're switching your diet, you're not eating acid food, the parasites know and they say, "Oh shoot, we gotta protect ourselves." So what do? They hijack. Well, first of all, they hijack your gut microbiome. Now I'm not sure if I probably spelled that wrong, but it's okay. They hijack your gut microbiome, right? This is the main thing. It's really important because after they do that, they hijack your nervous system. And majority of your nerve endings are found in your gut. Okay? So, you're sad, you're angry, you're anxious out of nowhere, you're craving sweets. You just don't know what to do. Like you just switched your diet and you're doing good for 1 week and the next week you're like out of nowhere you're like why am I craving this bread or why do I feel depressed or why am I going for this ice cream or why am I doing this? Why am I doing that? And you know deep down that you shouldn't be doing it. It is a telltale sign that you have parasites that are hijacking your nervous system. Okay. Parasites love to hide in the spine. Okay. They love to hijack the DNA as well, especially the DNA of the cells, so that the cells can now operate in their favor. So that's another thing as well. Right. They also hide in brain, bone marrow, and heavy metals. This is a big one. This is a really, really big one. I want you guys to highlight that and also write that down in your notes. Heavy metals, because we're talking about how to do a heavy metal cleanse. So I'm going to walk you guys through that later on. So it's really important to note heavy metals. Put a star on heavy metals, okay? Because we're going to walk through how to properly do a heavy metal detox. And this should be done 2 weeks before even doing a parasite cleanse to make sure that you're doing it effectively. Okay. Parasites also control every emotion. Ooh. A lot of your emotions are actually controlled by a parasite, especially your lower emotions. So your anger, a lot of fear, right? A lot of people think emotions come from your brain. No, all emotions stem from your gut, right? And your brain labels them and conceptualizes them. Parasites also drain your energy and your aura. Ooh. Have you guys ever met someone with a really dark aura? Like the aura just seems like something's off with their aura, like it's icky. I don't know if you drop me in the chat, guys. Let's get a little, okay? Don't name names, but drop me in the chat if you ever met someone and their aura just felt very dark, very heavy, very like, oh, I don't want to be around. Someone said, yep. I'm also looking at the comments as well. I have another thing. Yep. Me, perfect. Yeah. Because parasites can affect your aura, right? Not only is this a spiritual thing, but it's also scientific as well. Because your heart, right? If you have a healthy heart, a healthy body, right? Your heart is electromagnetic, so it raises a frequency. So that's how you can tell someone's healthy if they have a really big and bright frequency that's very inviting, very welcoming, very calm, very cleansed, very clear, very stable, very grounded. Because the more you cleanse your body and the more you cleanse out your heart pathways, your body will start producing an electromagnetic field that surrounds your body that is of a healthy person. So it's very inviting and it's not very dark. So if you feel right now that maybe your aura, your energy is not there, you feel very low, or you're having maybe anxiety, depression, we need to look into parasites, okay? They control your body. So these guys, right? Because you have a whole entity in there. Now, hold on, I'm going to put you guys at the side. All right. So every dis-ease is linked to a parasite, okay? And here are the main ones that are linked to a parasite, okay? So we have malaria. We have chickenpox, okay? Who here has chickenpox? I remember I had chickenpox and it was the worst. Chickenpox is linked to a skin parasite, okay? Hookworms, it's in the name, linked to a parasite. Ringworm, linked to a parasite. Eczema, your common eczema is a skin parasitic. Whew, okay? And I used to have eczema, okay? These things, they're pretty common, but not a lot of people know that it is actually parasites. Eczema is a really, really big one. So that is a skin parasitic. And if you have a lot of eczema, it's itchy, inflamed, and raised, that's actually a form of herpes. So we got to look into that as well. Liver fluke, lung fluke, okay? HIV, AIDS, that is a parasitic. It's all parasites. So a lot of, and I will put this out there, it's not on the list, but a lot of STDs as well, they're actually parasites. And I'm going to kind of get into this as well, right? With the parasites. So typically what happens is that if our body is acidic, right? Acidic environment is what parasites they love it, right? So the more acid we have in our body, the more likely that we have parasites. Now, parasites control your emotions, right? So typically, here's a telltale sign to tell that someone has parasites. If they have a lot of sexual urges out of nowhere, right? They can be randomly going for a run. They can be going for a walk. They can be cooking. They can be watching a documentary that has nothing to do with anything sexual, right? They could even be watching this parasite thing right now and get sexual urges. That is a telltale sign of a parasite. And that is actually a sign that the parasites want to reproduce. So the parasites will give you these sexual urges so that you can reproduce with other humans as well that have a lot of acids and parasites so that they can reproduce. It's crazy, you guys. So also keep note of that. If you have uncontrollable sexual urges, that's a telltale sign of parasites. Okay? Zika, Ebola, right? That was really popular back in like 2015, 2016. Those were also parasites. Even COVID, I'm sure you guys seen on the list. This is also linked to a parasite. Okay, we got herpes, rabies, and all hepatitis. So all forms of the hepatitis family, all parasites. Okay, norovirus, H. pylori, stomach bug, food poisoning as well is even a form of parasites. Okay, so just to name the basics, but majority of disease, it can always be backed by a parasite. Okay. Okay. Now, parasites need three things, and us humans just give it to them so well. First things first, living space. Parasites need a place to stay. They need a host. Who are the host? Us, and also animals and other living organisms, right? What makes a parasite choose you? What makes parasites want to stay in your body? It's the food that you're eating, the yeast forming food, the candida, even low stomach acid. If any of you guys were at my last masterclass, we talked about gut health and we talked about stomach acid. So, stomach acid is really important. And the way you can test to see if you have low stomach acid is doing the basic water and baking soda. So, you get a glass of water and you want to put 1 to 2 tablespoons of baking soda, mix it up, and then drink, right? And if you do not burp between 2 to 3 minutes after, that means that you have low stomach acid. And if you are burping, that means your stomach acid is pretty normal. So, ways to actually increase your stomach acid is with three things that I love to do. First things first, you guys already know lemon cayenne. That is why I tell all of you guys to start your day with lemon and cayenne pepper because the lemon is really good for stomach acid and the cayenne pepper is amazing for blood flow and circulation. So it helps not only with stomach acid, but it also helps with absorbing more nutrients because we need to be absorbing more because parasites they pull on your nutrients. They feed off of the nutrients in your body. So we want to make sure that we're constantly having nutrients being flowing in our body. Okay? If your body is full of acidosis and mold and bacteria, ooh, the parasites love it. Now, the third thing that they feed off of is water, but not just any water, contaminated water. Now, we will talk more about different waters to do for a cleanse, like distilled versus spring water. But typically, if you are using water without any filter, let's say you're showering without any shower filter, The parasites love that, especially if you have hard water with a bunch of heavy metals. Ooh, we don't want that for parasites, okay? So we can see here that parasites need the same things that humans need to survive, okay? If we were homeless, that would not be favorable for us. If we did not have any food, once again, that would not be favorable for us. And if we didn't have clean water, that wouldn't be favorable, okay? So parasites are bacteria just like you and me. Very smart. All right. So parasites are stronger than humans. They know when you are cleansing. So, how do we outsmart them? How do we do it? There's three ways to outsmart parasites. And I want you guys to drop in the chat. What do you think the three ways to outsmart parasites are? Just drop in the chat. There's no right or wrong answer, but I'd love to see like what you guys think in the chat. Let's see. Any ideas? Ooh, I like that. London said starve it. Yes, fasting. Fasting. Yes. Okay. So, three ways. First thing, you guys are right. Fasting, you starve it. You don't feed in to parasites at all. And yes, it sounds easier said than done, but that's why you guys are here because I'm going to walk you guys through tricks and techniques to do so. But yes, the first thing you need to do is fast and starve it. The second thing that you need to do is open up pathways. Because starving it is amazing, but if your detox pathways, and we'll talk more about that, but if your detox pathways are not opened, then all of the waste and the offsprings are just staying trapped in your body. So when you're doing a parasite cleanse, you have to cleanse on a cellular level, okay? It's great to, open up the macro things like the liver, the kidney, lymphatic system, but if you're not actually getting into the cells, right, and detoxing those cells, then there is a chance that their waste is going to be trapped in your cells, in your body, and cause more harm. Okay? So I'm going to walk you guys through how to do that today. But we need to first know how to outsmart them. And this is how. Okay? Opening up pathways. Now, the third thing to do, and this is a mistake I see a lot of people make. A lot of people say, oh, we need binders, or oh, we need this. But the thing is when you starve them, open up your pathways and immediately attack their offsprings immediately. Some people wait. Some people do the large parasites first and then they do the offsprings, which doesn't make any sense, right? We need to attack them head on before they even think about doing what they do to bring an offspring, okay? Because those babies are no joke. So we need to hit them all together. We can't wait. And that's the three ways to outsmart them. Because at first they're like, okay, she's throwing some jabs, whatever. It's cool. Right? We're doing some light parasite cleansing. Oh, we'll have pumpkin seeds and we'll have some papaya seeds tomorrow. Whatever. They're like, oh, whatever. But when you hit them with the right herbs and you starve them and your pathways are open, they have no choice but to go. They have no choice. No choice. Because they want to protect themselves the most, but they also want to protect their offsprings the most. So if they know that their offsprings are not going to be in a favorable condition, they're going to take their offsprings and they're going to leave. Just like with us, right? When we have when we have children, right? We become so protective over our children. We don't want anything bad happening to them, whatever it is. Same thing with parasites. That's why it's really important to get the babies right at the start. Nobody's safe, okay? Now, These are the common symptoms that you may have parasites, okay? First, we're going to talk about some digestive symptoms, okay? Bloating. This is the key one here. Frequent or excessive gas and swelling in the abdomen. So if you're constantly bloating after when you eat, if your belly just feels like you just have indigestion, like your food is not going down, it's just something there, that's a telltale sign. Another sign, constipation, right? If you have infrequent bowel movements, if you're only pooping 3 times a week and you eat 3 meals a day, something is wrong. And that could be linked to parasites, okay? Because the more you have trapped waste in the body, especially in the colon, the more the bad bacteria in the body starts to grow and it starts getting reabsorbed into your bloodstream, and it creates an environment for bad bacteria, parasites, and viruses to thrive. And we don't want that, okay? Diarrhea. If you have frequent diarrhea, you have loose or watery stool, this is also a telltale sign, okay? Heartburn, acid reflux, right? Burning in the chest and throat, that's a telltale sign. Excessive gas, like you're just farting, you're belching out of nowhere, okay? Telltale sign. You're belching, you're farting. Also, food intolerance, right? That's a telltale sign. But this is not what you think. So like, of course, like dairy, gluten in these foods, like we should avoid it at all costs. But if your body starts to react in a really like corrosive way immediately, like let's say you have dairy and you start to itch, or you immediately have like a rash, or it just happens really acute, really immediately, that's a telltale sign you have parasites. Okay? Now, let's do part two, energy and mood. So, if you're constantly fatigued, right? Not only just after eating, but like you, let's say you wake up and you're like, ugh, and the energy has not increased. Because usually when you wake up, yes, energy starts a little low, and then when you reach like midday, the energy rises. But if your energy is not rising at all, girl, that's a parasite. Okay. Brain fog. Having trouble concentrating or thinking clearly. Ooh, could be a parasite. Mood swings or anxiety, right? If you guys were at the last masterclass, we spoke about the brain and gut axis, how, the brain and gut is connected through the vagus nerve, and that plays a really big role on your emotions. So if you are emotionally unregulated, always angry, could be a parasite. I forgot to add for emotions and energy, but sexual urges as well, of course, is also parasite. Poor sleep. So trouble falling asleep or staying up or eating late at night. If you have late night cravings. Okay, that's another sign. Now, part three is where we get more into it. Now, if you have undigested food in your stool, ooh, okay, a foul smelling stool. Not all stool should stink, believe it or not. This is also a sign of course, gut health issues as well. But you can see how a lot of this stems from your gut. So if you have a really foul smelling stool, okay, you have frequent infections. So like your immune system is just gone. Like your immune system is very weak, right? Your lymphatic system is not fighting off toxins, or there's just your swollen lymph nodes. That's a sign. Skin problems like acne, eczema, rosacea, other redness on the skin. Appetite and weight changes. Losing weight too fast, that means the parasites are draining the nutrients in your body. Now, weight gain as well could be a thing too. So it can go both ways. Of course, the main one is cravings for sugar and processed food. That's the big one. And then when we're going to like hormones and menstruation, it could be irregular periods, A lot of cysts and fibroids are actually connected to a parasite. So when you break apart cysts and fibroids, you can see some parasites in there. It's a lot of acid, but there's also a lot of parasites in there as well. Okay. And then if you have hormonal imbalance, that's a telltale sign as well. Okay. So we're going to play a little participation game before we get into the nitty gritty. Now, who wants to come on stage, right? The rule is you cannot be a client. You have to have a working camera and a working mic to list some of the symptoms that you possibly have on the list. And then we're going to walk you through how to heal it in the next slide. So, who here has, and this is all a safe space, guys, but who here has maybe a couple of the symptoms on the list and they're like, ooh, that could be me, or like, ooh, that's me, or maybe that's me, and wants to come on stage and list out some of the symptoms that they have. Okay, let's see. And if not, guys, I'm gonna choose somebody. So who wants to do it? We'll get like about two, maybe one or two people. So just put me in the chat, or you can unmute yourself and have the camera on. Okay, guys, let's see. Okay. I know, I think Carlotta just got here. Carlotta, are you here? Can you see? Carlotta. Okay. Okay, she's here. Are you able to put on camera and unmute? Oh, did you maybe? 'Cause I think you just came, so I don't know if you've seen the full list or not, but I think that'll work as well. Oh, you missed the signs. Okay. Who's here for the sign? Ooh, what about Patal? Patal, what signs do you have? Let me go back. So there's change in stool, foul smelling stool, skin issues like eczema, rosacea, inflammation, weight gain, weight loss, cravings, irregular periods, PMS. Okay, there's energy, mood issues, fatigue, brain fog, mood swings, anxiety, poor sleep, bloating, frequently gas, swelling, constipation. And constipation to me is if you're, let's say you eat 3 meals a day and you only poop once, that's constipation. Because those two other bowel movements are behind. So that's constipation. Uh, Diarrhea, so frequent, loose, watery, heartburn, acid reflux, excessive gas and belching, and then food intolerance. So like this one's a little bit different. So like if you're eating, which hopefully no one on here is eating any like heavy glutens, right? If you're eating gluten, dairy, or you're eating processed food, or you're eating like say you eat Gushers and you just have like an outburst really quickly. So you start to itch, you get a rash, your skin is red, like things like that. So those are the signs. So if I go back, so these are the signs. What
Can you
sign?
hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh, sorry. I had got disconnected. I had to come back on.
Yeah, that's okay.
Uh, but for me, I was gonna say, I do experience like bloating after eating.
Mm-hmm.
that's one thing I experience.
Okay, so the bloating after eating. Okay, that's a really common one. And do you have any other ones?
Um, Sometimes my periods are irregular, I would say. Some skin issues, uh, and yeah, I do be feeling like I be having brain fog and, definitely poor sleep. Like I stay up like all night.
Mm-hmm. And okay, when you say stay up all night, like when do you typically like try to fall asleep?
Um, well, for me, I work overnight, so I try to like be sleep by like 6 or 7. But I don't know, like for me, it's just like I can't get myself to go to sleep.
Mm-hmm. And do you feel like you could possibly have a parasite?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, first I want to give it up for you, London. Thank you for participating. So, do you want to learn how to get rid of these symptoms?
Yep.
Yep. Okay. Thank you. So you can mute now. But thank you so much. We're gonna walk into how to heal this. Okay. Everyone put some heart for London in the chat and also put me in the chat if you want to learn how to heal this. Okay. Thank you so much, London, for coming on. Everyone put some hearts for London. Yay. Hearts. Yes. Okay. Ready, guys? We need to hype the chat. Hype the chat up so we can figure out how to get rid of this. Okay. Because I know even me too, right? We all have bloating. Sometimes we get the skin issues. We have the foul smell, and we're like, damn, like, what is that? Okay, it happens to all of us. So are we all ready? All right, let's do it. The moment we have all been waiting for. Okay, what should we do? How do we cleanse this? Okay, and I want you guys to pay really close attention to this part of the present of the master class because this is the part that's really really important. So I want you guys to take your notes. It's really, really important, okay? You should be cleansing minimum 4 months. Not 1 month, not a week, not 7 days, not a 3-day watermelon fast. No, not a 14-day juice cleanse. No. No, 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 no. Now, if you can make this a lifestyle, and if you can kind of implement what I'm teaching today into your lifestyle, then this could really, really be helpful so you don't have to keep cleansing, right? Because some people are on their fourth parasite cleanse, their seventh parasite cleanse, because they're not cleansing the right way. When you are on a parasite cleanse, and this is very intense, by the way. So I do want to appreciate and honor everyone that is here today, on this cleanse because it is very intense. Okay. So you have to be cleansing minimum 4 months. Now, what should you even eat on a parasite cleanse? I want you guys to write this down. 80% astringent fruits. I'm gonna give you guys a list of astringent fruits, but 80% astringent fruits. So you want to remove all of your grains, all of your wheat, all of your dairy, even meats, your processed food, even your vegetables. We're not eating vegetables. The only veggies that we're really truly eating, well, kind of drinking, is our herbs. And you're eating 80% astringent fruits. This is a very, very particular way of fasting. Okay, so what are astringent fruits? Love this. Astringent fruits pull acid and toxins out of the cells, right? These fruits are very hydrating, right? Which is able to go deep and penetrate the cells. right? Anytime you eat fruit, it bypasses the pancreas. So you don't have to go to the pancreas. When you eat fruit, it goes right into your bloodstream, which is great because your cells eat through your blood, right? Your cells don't have the luxury to eat how we do. Your macro cells, they kind of have the luxury because they have to kind of break these things down and metabolize them, but your cells don't. They eat whatever the blood gives it. And the thing is, everything goes to the blood. Even cellular waste goes to the blood. So you want to make sure that you're eating astringent fruits and you're taking your herbs because when you detox, yes, metabolic waste is going to go into your blood. But if you do not know how to actively cleanse your blood, you're going to do your body a disservice. So whenever you cleanse, doesn't even have to be parasite. Whenever you're cleansing, you have to be actively cleansing your blood to avoid metabolic waste, right? To avoid the accumulation of metabolic waste to your cells. That's going to mess up your body and make you more sick down the line and give you more of these symptoms down the line. Okay? So 80% astringent. Now, astringent fruits, I think someone is not muted. So I'm gonna just say to mute. Okay. But yes, astringent fruits. So apples are astringent. Green and also gala apples are amazing. Your citrus family. So your lemons, your limes, your oranges, your tangerines, your grapefruit. These are amazing astringent properties. Okay. Really, really amazing. Okay. Another great astringent fruit would be kiwis, peaches, plums, pineapples, papaya. Amazing to pull out of the body. Okay. These are the main fruits that you will be eating on your cleanse. Okay. Astringent. And there's different stages as well. So when you're also maintaining on a parasite cleanse, that's when you can add things like berries. But when you are having any form of berries, so let's say, because you can add berries to heal, but those berries are taken in herbs. So like hawthorn berry, chaseberry, those are taken in herbs. But what you're eating that is sweet. Wait, hold on. Pause or mute. I think someone's not muted. I can hear someone's baby. Okay. That was cute. Okay. Okay, good. Okay, perfect. Can you guys see my screen now? Okay. So, make sure we're gonna go back to this. This is the 3-step formula for cleansing. Minimum 4 months. So typically the cleanse is 16 weeks. So you're eating 80% astringent fruits for 16 weeks. And also you're gonna take herbs to kill the adults and the babies same time. Okay. Now, 2 weeks before your cleanse. So let's say you started your cleanse June 1st. Okay. 2 weeks before that. Okay. So 14 days before June 1st, you're going to do a heavy metal detox. I want you guys to write this down. Heavy metal detox. 2 weeks before. Now, what does this detox entail? This detox entails 80% astringent fruits. So you're always going to eat astringent fruits. Throughout this whole entire cleanse, it's always astringent. Okay. And I believe I will send you guys, along with this recording, a list that I have for you guys of astringent fruits. So I gave you guys like the list. So it's like apples, kiwis, peaches, plums, tangerines, things like that. But I will have that list for you guys so you guys can see like what else is on there. Even dragon fruit is really good. It's in a really good astringent. But 2 weeks before you cleanse from heavy metals, I mean, sorry, 2 weeks before you start your parasite cleanse, you're going to cleanse from heavy metals. So what does that look like? It looks like this. So you're going to have a series of three different juices. Okay. And these are all green juices because your dark leafy greens, right, are really, really good to pull heavy metal out of the body. And this is where parasites hide. So it's almost like we're playing hide and seek, right? The parasites are hiding. We need to seek them. The heavy metals will, the heavy metal cleanse will help get them out. So now they have no place to hide. We can attack head on. Okay. And it's easy, 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 easy. Okay. You want to make this as easy as possible for you guys. So this is what you should be taking. So you're going to have three juices. The first one is a green apple and celery juice, right? So it's green apples, one stalk celery, two cucumbers, one lemon, one thumb of ginger, a handful of parsley, a handful of cilantro. Okay. And I like to sprinkle some cayenne pepper on top in every juice. So every juice you can throw in cayenne pepper. It is optional, but I like to add it in for blood flow because as we know, guys, nutrients gets transferred through the blood, right? The blood is what flows through the body, and that's how your cells eat. So if your blood is not flowing and circulating, then your cells are not getting the nutrients and the food that it needs. So I love to add cayenne pepper, right? And then you want to do a leeks and celery juice juice. Okay. So this, I don't really have a recipe. I like to play around with this, but I typically do 3 to 6 stalks of celery and 2 stalks of leeks, and I cut those up. And you want to have two 24-ounce glasses of this a day. Okay. So with this green juice, like the apples and the celery, you want to have one of those a day. And then these two juices, you want to have them twice a day. And that's what you're eating for the whole day. Okay. For the 14 weeks. I mean, sorry, for the 14 days. 14 days. Okay. So you want to make your leeks and celery juice. And you want to have two 24 ounces a day. And then you want to have your celery and parsley juice, which is just strictly celery and parsley. Okay. So what I would do is that I would have this green juice, right? The green apple, the celery, the cucumber, the ginger. I would have that for breakfast. Now, who knows when breakfast is? Put it in the chat. What is our eating window, guys? What is our eating window? Yes, 12. Yes, you guys know. Perfect. Okay, and then when do we stop eating? Yes, I think Loris got it. Yeah, Carlotta got it, London got it, 12 to 6. Yes. So let's say we like break it right at 12. So I would have the green juice, celery, um, right at 12. Okay, that's my breakfast. And then since you can have astringent fruit, then let's say I have that and I'm a little hungry, then I can have some green grapes. Because yes, green grapes are astringent. So grapes are astringent. But yes, I'll send you guys that list. But yes, I'm gonna have this, wait like 15 to 20 minutes so it can digest, and then I'm gonna have a side of grapes. And then that's my breakfast. Now lunch, let's say I have my lunch at like 4 because I was out. So I'm gonna grab my leeks and celery and I'm gonna drink that up. Leeks and celery, that's pretty filling, especially when you're having two glasses, like two 24-ounce glasses. That's pretty filling. So I'm pretty much done. That's my lunch. Now, dinner, I have to have two 24-ounce glasses. So my dinner, let's say my dinner, I come back home, my dinner is at like 5:30 or something, or yeah, let's say I'm 5:30 there. That's what I'm having. And then that's it for the day. So it's pretty easy to get these three juices in every single day for the 14 days. Okay? Perfect. Now, heavy metals doesn't just stop at diet. Heavy metals is all around us, right? We go outside and there's so much pollutants. There's chemtrails outside, right? Even our environment should be a space for healing. So if you guys don't have a humidifier or you don't have any essential oils, I would invest in essential oils throughout this whole entire cleanse, even when you get into the parasites, because we're not even there yet, but we should have that. Snake plants, aloe vera plants, eucalyptus. You can put that in your humidifier. That's amazing. Lavender is great. I like lavender personally because it helps me like unwind. I like it before bed, but eucalyptus is more ideal for healing. Um, I like to add eucalyptus and rosemary. I think that's really good. Okay. Even if you just put a little bit, like you can put a little bit in the air. If you don't have a humidifier, you can just, I like to do that. Okay. Also, pillowcases, making sure that we check to see if our pillowcase is expired. Pillowcases tend to expire, I think, well, it really depends on the brand, but it does expire every 6 months, so it's good to change it. Or what I do is I don't sleep on any pillowcases, and I feel like my neck has improved a lot from doing that. Okay, so make sure you check your pillowcases because that can be a lot of mold. Making sure that you have some snake plants, aloe vera. You can light some incense as well to purify the air, get some fresh air, ground. Now that it's warm outside, right? Today was a really, really warm day. So we should all be grounding, right? Putting our feet in the ground. That's really, really good to help with heavy metals because once you ground, right, you're putting all those negative ions from your body into the soil, and the soil is now giving you positive ions. So it's a great energy exchange. Amazing for healing when you ground. If you can also get near water while you're doing this parasite cleanse, perfect. Water is amazing because when you're around water, you're around the most freshest air because that water helps also purify the air. So you can be in the ocean, lakes, rivers, whatever you can get where you're at, go for it. But that's just one thing I want to add on to this heavy metal cleanse because it's really important that we also heal with the four elements, right? We get out into the nature, we go in the water, we ground from the earth. We use the fire energy, which is in the sauna. Okay. So when I talk about detox pathways, I'm going to talk more about how to open them up and what to do after the heavy metals. But that's what we do. Now, we are going to be swapping a lot of products. So, deodorant has aluminum. That's a really big heavy metal, right? So, anyone
Sí.
that's using regular deodorant, we need to swap that because parasites love, love, love that aluminum. They hide behind a lot of aluminum. So, a swap that's really, really good is doing some lemon juice or lime. I personally like lime. It's less harsh. Sometimes lemon leaves a little reaction for people, so lime is good, and you can put some scented essential oils that match with you. Perfume, scents, Febreze, same thing. Incense and essential oils that match for you. I like to use flower oils. I like honeysuckle, rose, jasmine's good as well. So things like that is really good. Now, toothpaste, we're throwing out our toothpaste. Okay. I don't really care if your toothpaste is aluminum free or not aluminum, fluoride free. We're not using
Disculpen, es que estoy en una clase.
because, oops, sorry guys. Good. Hold on. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So with the toothpaste, okay, this is really important because, right, dis-ease starts in the mouth. The first line of defense is here. So when we're cleansing, we're not using fluoride toothpaste. We're not using even fluoride-free toothpaste has coloring and stuff in it. We're going to use charcoal, baking soda, bentonite clay, and we're going to make a paste with some water, and we're going to use that to brush our teeth. This is very intentional, by the way. Very intentional. Because these three things, charcoal, baking soda, bentonite clay, that's going to be your quote unquote binders. Very important. These help pull out toxins in the body. It helps bind with them to get them out of the body, especially heavy metals. And this is going to be great because before we even start the parasite cleanse, we got to wake them up and say, "Hi, parasites, we're coming." This is going to help. This is extremely going to help with that. So this is why I chose these three, and it's really important to, if you can't find the bentonite clay, at least do the charcoal and the baking soda, because that's really going to help pull them up, wake them up, get them ready, let them know that they are no longer staying here. Okay, so if you have fluoride-free toothpaste, like I don't know what brands they're out there, like the Hello, whatever, we're not using that. We're gonna use it. Okay. Also, you can pair this up with coconut oil pulling, really good. For body soaps, that's another thing as well. We're not using any popular body soaps. That's a big mistake I see people make. They're cleansing, everything is good. They're eating their fruits, they're taking their herbs, and then I look in their pantry and I see Dove. I see CeraVe. I see Nivea. I'm like, whoa, what are we doing? We have to keep it we have to keep it detox, because then if you're doing that, just think about it, guys. Your skin is your largest organ, right? Your skin is a sponge. Whatever you put on your skin goes directly to your blood and right to your cells. This is what's causing the skin cancer, the skin issues, the acidosis on the skin, the burning on the skin. One thing that kind of does not have to do with parasites, but I feel like I want to mention, because like the weather is getting warmer, the more you put these chemicals on your skin, the more you, even the sunscreen, the chemicals in sunscreen, the more your skin will tan and burn. That's just what it is. Because these are acids going right into your blood and it's being absorbed through your skin. This is the problem that we are having. If you cannot pronounce the product or the ingredient, or you don't know what it means or where it comes from, 9 times out of 10, you should not be using it. So I gave you guys some alternatives. You guys can do black soap, really, really good. There's like a couple ingredients in there. The one from Ghana is really good, like that. Um, for lotion, for face and body, the two best oils to put on your skin, because most times oils can be drying on your skin, but the ones that work really well for your body and your face is shea butter and grapeseed oil. I personally do shea butter. I like it though, because if your skin is naturally dry, then it helps give it a glow without being oily. And that's what I have on my skin right now. So it's just shea butter. It's kind of oily though. And then hair products, we want to minimize that as well, because same thing, anything that goes into your hair absorbs it. Your hair is an extension of your nervous system. What do parasites attack? Your nervous system. So we want to make sure that the hair is clean. So during this cleanse, guys, hair products to use would be rose water. So if you need to hydrate your hair, rose water is amazing. Botana oil or rosemary oil is amazing. Now, if you need a shampoo, a really good shampoo is actually using baking soda, right? You can use baking soda, a little bit of apple cider. You can put just a little bit of essential oil, so at least you smell really fresh. You can put, like, if you like a tingle, you can put tea tree oil. It's anti bacterial. You can put like some jasmine if you want to smell really good. But that's what we use for shampoo. And then for hair, going back to hair. Okay, there's a lot of information here, guys. So bear with me. Yes. So botana oil, rosemary oil, and then protective styles for your hair, just so your hair is not out and about and you don't have to worry too much about, if, like, let's say you're doing a wash and go, that's a lot of product and the product buildup. So during this 4 months, if we can do a protective style, that would be really, really helpful. Now, no makeup, no face wash except a black soap, and then you can use lemongrass or mild oatmeal to scrub your face, very light. And then a bentonite clay mask once a week for your face and feet. So there is a really good foot bath that you can do to help with heavy metals. So you can get a little spa tub. Um, I think I have mine around here, but yeah, you can get like a bucket to put your feet in. You fill up the bucket with warm water, bentonite clay, baking soda, Epsom salt, and you soak your feet for about 30 minutes to an hour to really get the heavy metals out. And you'll see that the bowl will turn like black, brown. Even sometimes people say parasites start to come out through the feet. It really just depends. But that's a really good foot um, mask to do 2 weeks before we actually dive into the parasite cleanse. Okay? So that is that for heavy metals. Okay? This is a really big one, but this is really good. Now, one thing I want to note, you want to make these swaps throughout the whole entire cleanse. So it's not just for the heavy metals for the 2 weeks. You want to do this for the 4 months. And if you want to make this a lifestyle, even better. Okay? So that's that. Now,
I have a quick question. I'm sorry.
mhm.
Is questions okay right now?
Yeah, you can do a quick question.
Okay, so for the lime, right? Like, as the deodorant swap. So I used to use the lemon, but it like would burn. It was good for like the smell or whatever. Does the lime burn you as well?
So with the lemon, yeah, it tends to kind of, it can burn. With the lime, I find that it doesn't do that. Like
Okay.
when you put the lime on direct, that's one thing too. Always dilute it because if you just rub the lemon directly, then it can burn. Even with the lime, like it doesn't burn, but I wouldn't recommend like actually rubbing it. I would squeeze it in like a container or even like an applicator bottle or something with the essential oil and then put it on like that. So it's like if you're really sensitive, it won't burn you.
Okay. So, and this is the last thing. So for deodorant, I don't use regular deodorant. I use um crystal deodorant. It's a mineral salt. Is that good?
I would say stick with the lime because we don't want any like anything like too solid under there, like as we're doing the heavy metals. So I would say
Okay.
just stick with the lemon, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So now we're gonna continue on the cleanse. So 2 weeks of the heavy metals. Perfect. Now, what are we actually gonna do on the cleanse? First things first, okay? We're going to open up your detox pathways. Okay. So I want you guys to write this down because you have about 9 detox pathways. Okay. And I have my little book here because I walked you guys through how to open up each pathway. Okay. So you have about 9. And I'm pretty sure all of us here, yeah, we're all ladies. So we have 9. Okay. The first one is your brain. Okay, your glymphatic system. So a lot of people don't realize sleep is actually a form of detoxification. So if you're not sleeping enough or you're sleeping too much or too little, that's actually a sign that you need to detox or that there is an issue in the body because your sleep is off, which means you're not detoxing every night like you should. So your brain, your glymphatic system is one. Okay, your lungs is a pathway. And I'm going to show you guys how to open that up. Okay, your liver is a pathway. Your kidney is a pathway. Your skin is a pathway. Your lymphatic system is a pathway. Okay, number 7 is blood. So your blood's a pathway. Number 8 is your digestive system. That's a pathway. Okay, and then number 9, your reproductive area, your womb, your vagina. That is a detox pathway. So every time we bleed every month, that's a detox. Every time we have discharge or any form of like yeast infection or whatever it is, that is our vaginal area detoxing. The right reproductive system. Or you could even write, yeah, just write vagina. Just write that. Okay. So I wrote this all down. So we have 9. So I hope you guys all wrote this down. So this is going to be 16 weeks. So I want you to write 16 weeks on your paper. This is how long we're doing this for. So this is the pre-parasites. Because pre-parasites, we need to be opening up pathways. So up until this point, what we're doing is 80% 80% astringent fruits, and then the rest is going to be like your juices. Okay? Now, week 1 of the 16 weeks, so week 1 to week 2, you're going to be opening up your liver pathway. Okay? The liver pathway. The liver pathway is really good because your liver is just like your digestive system, okay? It loves the bitters. Whatever is bitter to the liver, the liver loves it. Whatever is bitter to the mouth, the liver loves, okay? So I want you to circle liver and digestive system because that's what you're going to be opening up on week 1 and 2. So for 2 weeks, you're going to be taking these herbs for your liver, okay? Herb number 1, milk thistle, okay? Milk thistle. Hold on. I'm going to put that in the chat so you guys know how to spell it. Okay. Have that in the chat. Milk thistle, okay? The second herb that's amazing for your liver is Cascara Sagrada. Okay, so that's Casara Sagrada so Sagrada. Perfect for the liver. Now, third one, you guessed it, or maybe you didn't, but it's dandelion root. Okay, dandelion root. Now, this is a bonus. You can put marshmallow root. Okay. Now, these 3 herbs together is a powerhouse. Now, if you don't have access to these 3 herbs or you can only get 1 or 2, that's fine, but the more the merrier. And you want to get these herbs like as a whole. So you want to brew them as a tea. You don't want the powder because you only want to be eating your astringent fruits. And when you get powder, you don't want to mix it with the wrong kind of water and yeah. So you want to mix this into a tea, okay? And
Sorry.
preferably distilled water for your teas because that's really good for cleansing. Distilled water for your teas are really good for cleansing, okay? And that's what you're going to be drinking every day for 2 weeks, along
I have
with
a question.
mm-hmm.
So sorry. Do you mind spelling that second herb again?
The Cascara Sagrada.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so it's Casara
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Sagrada.
Thank you.
Okay, no problem. Okay, so that's for the liver and the digestion for the 2 weeks. Now, after those are open, we need to open up the kidneys, the skin, and the lymphatic system, right? These go hand in hand. So I want you guys to circle skin, lymphatic, kidneys. So what do we do to open up these? Now, for the skin and the lymphatic system, 2 ways. First of all, your skin is like your second kidney. So whatever the kidneys don't filter, the skin will. And I do not want for you guys to have acne or have parasites coming out of your skin. No, ma'am, I don't want that. So what we are doing on week 3 to 4, okay, is we're opening up those 3 pathways. Okay. So how do we do that?
Hey, I have a question.
Mhm.
Excuse me. Will the liquid extract will that help?
Liquid who?
Like the extract, like like the drops.
Oh, the drops. Okay.
Cause it seems like
Um,
that's all I can get a hold to in my area. Like it's the drops or maybe the capsules.
okay. I wouldn't do okay, so if you do the capsules, I'd actually opt for the capsules instead of the liquid drops because with the capsules you can just take out the powder from there and then boil that as a tea.
Oh, I didn't know you can do that.
Yeah. And then just keep stirring that up, let that simmer, and then I would do it that way.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Okay. Um, Wait, guys, what was I talking about again? I was doing, oh yeah, the skin, yes. So with the skin and the lymphatic system loves to sweat. So if you have access to a sauna, getting in the sauna this week, so week 3 and 4 is sauna, sweating. So if you guys ever are in our academy, we do the jumps. So I made a post about this, I think, the other day. Jumping, jumping and slapping. So literally what I mean by this is 10 minutes every single day. You're slapping each part of your body. Okay. You're slapping, slapping, slapping. Even the bottom of your foot, you're slapping, slapping, and then we're jumping, right? Jumping for at least 10 minutes every day, and then getting into the sauna and sweating. Sauna is really effective, and you want to make sure that when you get in the sauna, it is above 80 degrees Celsius, okay? And I think it would be like what, 160 Fahrenheit or something like that. But you want to make sure that it's above 80 degrees Celsius, or else it's not really gonna. Like, you need to sweat. You need to really sweat. So make sure the sauna is hot, the hottest you can bear. Okay, and doing your taps and slaps. That's gonna help open up the lymphatic system and your skin. With your skin, there's nothing that you can actually like take because all of these herbs are gonna help with like the herbs I'm gonna give you are gonna help with your kidney, and that's gonna also help with your skin. Okay, so the best herbs for the kidney and lymphatic system, I want you guys to write this down, is going to be red clover flower tops. So red clover flower tops. Okay, that's number one. And then number two would be cleavers, just regular cleavers. So Clever, cleavers. Okay. And then the third herb that's really good for the kidneys and lymphatic system is going to be nettle, nettle leaf. And then a bonus here is something that you can eat or put into those juices, which is your parsley. Parsley is amazing for your kidneys. Okay. It'll have you peeing like no other. Love parsley. Okay. So that's for the liver, kidneys, and skin. Now, for the blood, let's move on to the blood because now week 5 to 6, we're opening up the blood. Okay, we're opening up the blood. So the blood, we all know our blood herbs, right? Burdock, sour sarsaparilla root, yellow dock, and then bonus, I would say, what would be a bonus I could say? But those are the three main ones. Um, you can do, Cheney root is also really good for your blood. So we'll do burdock root, um, yellow dock, sour sarsaparilla, Cheney root, really good for the blood. And that's cleansing the blood. Okay. So you want to do that for week 5 and 6. Okay. Now you want to open up your reproductive system, your vagina, okay? Because as you're cleansing, now you might notice maybe you have a little bit of discharge or whatever it is. So here's the herbs to you. So you want to do wild yam root, even red clover as well. You can throw in there is really good. Red clover and ginger root. Really good to open up the reproductive. And you want to do that from 7 to week 8. Okay, 7 to week 8. So now that your pathways are opened, right? So we're taking these herbs, right, guys, along with taking, of course, the fruits and still doing the heavy metals because it's a constant thing. Now, to open up your lung pathways, as you guys notice, I left the lungs because what we're really going to be doing to with our lungs is breathing. So making sure that you breathe. You're doing box breathing every day. Breathing is so important when you're cleansing because that is how you release CO2 from your blood. Right? That's how you actually release the waste through the breath. So we got to be breathing. And I'll show you guys how to take a proper breath. So you want to breathe in. Feel the rib expand, rise, hold, and then and sink in. Okay? So now, from week 9 up until 16, here's what we're doing. We're killing the adults. So you see how the parasite cleanse really started week 9? This is the biggest mistake I see. People start right off the bat trying to kill the adults. It's like, whoa, we didn't even get there. Like, we have to warm up first. So here are the herbs to kill the adults. The adults are easy. Like once you open up these pathways, they're gone in like a day, right? So wormwood, and you guys can choose on the list. You don't have to choose the whole entire thing. This is just what you have accessible to you. So I like to do wormwood, cloves, call it a day, but you can do wormwood, you can do dried oregano, so you can put that and make a tea, or you can do oil of oregano drops in distilled water. You can do charcoal powder and water. You can do pumpkin seeds, mash those up. You can do papaya seeds, eat those. Um, but the adults are easy. You kill them, whatever, right? And this is what, now that we open up our pathways, these are the herbs that we're going to be taking week 9 until week 16. So you can forget about the other herbs, except for the blood herbs, because once a week, you're going to take the blood herbs, okay? Once a week, you're taking the blood herbs, okay? Everyone write that in the chat. Once a week, take the blood herbs. In the chat. Once a week, take the blood herb. Just so you guys can really remember. Okay. Okay. Oops. Now the babies, completely different. So you have to use completely specific herbs for the babies. And it's typically these 3 that kill the babies. Green whole walnut hull. Not black, green. The unripe one, the hard ones, right? Green whole walnut hull. Black olive leaf. Now you can actually find black olive leaf. They typically sell it as the leaf or a tincture. So for this in particular, you can take it as a tincture because that's really how they sell it. And I think that it's effective when you have it as the leaf and as a tincture. Now, it's called quassia, but in Jamaica and stuff, and in the Caribbean, we call it bitterwood. So I have that right there. So yeah, these 3 is how you kill the babies. And then when you're killing the babies, 80% astringent fruits, nothing else, okay? And the babies, you got to get on them because they are stubborn, right? Like, and we can't wait on them. We can't wait because what people do is that they wait till the babies develop into adults and they'll do another parasite cleanse. And it's like, okay, no, 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 because those babies will give you literal heck. So make sure that as you are doing the adults, so you're using your herbs to the adults, you're killing the babies. Let's say you do the adults in the morning for week 9 until 16, and then you do the babies at night. Or let's say you do the babies in the morning, you do the adults at night, and vice versa, whatever works for you. But you got to get the babies. Okay? And those are the 3 main herbs for the babies. Okay. Now that we know how to properly cleanse so that the babies and the offsprings are not stuck in the blood, right? And we're also having our blood herbs once a week during this period, are you guys going to follow through? Because what's easy to do is easy not to do. Your body is meant to heal itself. And can we all make a promise that you will implement what you learned and you will commit to your health? Because a lot of you guys, I do want to honor you guys because I'm really proud of the women that showed up today, the women that are asking questions, the women that want to learn, want to heal. So I asked you guys, my only thing I ask, okay? Because I'm giving you guys, I'm gonna give, but the only thing I ask in return is that you guys implement it. Because it would really, really, really hurt me. I'm kind of a sensitive girl, but it would hurt me that I give you guys all this and you guys don't implement it. Okay? I want to see your progress, okay? Who is going to commit to this cleanse? I want you guys to post in the chat, comment me, but I would love to see your guys' progress, okay? If you guys want to DM me like, hey Zara, I just started my heavy metal detox, or hey please do so because I want to see you guys commit to this and actually implement. Okay, Carlotta is saying me, yes, can't wait to see your progress, queen. Yay. London said she's recording the journey. Yes. Sorry, I'm looking at the comments. I think it's Yahaley. Yahela said committed. Yes, love that. Everyone is committed. I love it. Okay. Okay? Because don't waste your time, guys. We've been here for an hour and a half. Now, a little bit about me and my story for the ones that don't know. Okay? I been through it all. Okay? I was overweight. When I was 16, I had PCOS, right? I had the thyroid, I had all the bloating, I had all the parasites, okay? I didn't know that PCOS was actually linked to your gut and parasites and acid, right? I was told the regular stuff, like, oh, just get on birth control, it's fine at your age, or oh, it's just, it's just hormones, whatever. I didn't want that because something told me deep down, like, this is not the route for me. It's just not. It's really not. And I wanted more for myself. So I decided that I wasn't going to go on birth control. I wasn't going to take that route. So I decided to start studying holistic health, and also my grandma was into it as well. She was into holistic health. And then she got cancer, right? And then I seen that she was starting to go the healthcare system, and she was doing like the chemo and things like that. And of course, she passed from it. It was devastating, and that was like my aha moment when I realized that, wait, like the healthcare system, although they're just trying to help, right? They're the workers that are trying to help, but their system that is in place is not actually meant to heal you. It's just not. Because it wouldn't make sense if it was, right? There always has to be something for them to bring you back in. That's why they offer medication, because they know that, like, okay, if you're on this medication, you might need this medication. It's a buy one, get one free. It's a business, right? And this is not to shit on the healthcare system, but it is to open your eyes and realize what they are doing. It is a business, and it is the money. Yes, it is, right? Because if they don't have a business, or if they're actually healing you, then there would be bankrupt. There wouldn't be a healthcare system. There just wouldn't. So I decided to take matters in my own hand from seeing a lot of family members who were sick, you know, lose their lives because they weren't educated. So now I want to educate myself, for my community, the woman, anybody who is sick, to educate themselves, right? And this is me, first picture, big, thyroid issues, poor nervous system. And then on the left or the right, me in the purple. It is possible to heal, guys. It is possible to detox. It is possible to lose weight. And I lost 60 pounds in 3 months. It's possible with the right approach. So I just want to point that out there. Okay. And these are also ladies as well. These are clients. This one's Zanaya, the first one. The other one is Kelly. And the last one is Morgan. These are all ladies that have cleansed their bodies. Zanaya was here for 2 weeks, like from January 29th to February. She was able to lose weight and also cleanse her body. Even Kelly, she had a really great transformation. And even Morgan, she's been here since February, but that was her picture back in March. She was able to lose the weight. But not only is it not about weight, it's also all about healing the body and cleansing. And this is really important because if we're not actively cleansing, then we're actively destroying our bodies. Right? So I want to make that very clear, you guys. Right? And if you guys need any support with any of this, like the parasite cleansing, maybe you're still not sure what to do, you need support. I do want to offer this to a select few that feels very called. I'm going to drop in my schedule, my calendar. If you guys want to book a call with me, you feel like you need more guidance. Let's say like some of the symptoms that we spoke about earlier, like let's say maybe that's something that you experience. Let's go back to, let me see. Let's say some of these symptoms like the energy, fatigue, brain fog. Let's see like common everyday symptoms, bloating, diarrhea, gas, like even, smelly stool, all of that. If this sounds like you and you need support, I'm offering this for select few that feels called. So I'm going to drop in my calendar if you guys want to book a call for more guidance on parasite cleansing. Okay. So we're pretty much, that's it, guys. I know there's a lot of information. So I'm going to drop that in the chat. Give me 1 second to look out for that. Dropping that in the chat. I'm going to have that there. Okay. Okay, so just drop that in the chat. And let me know, guys, London said that was helpful. I'm so glad it was helpful for you guys. So happy for the people that did tune in. So I have that calendar link for you guys. And in the meantime, does anybody have any questions? You can raise your hand or unmute. I love this intimate group. It's been really good. And I do want to apologize as well, guys, for the link. I don't know what was happening for the link. But I like this small intimate class though. Maybe it would happen for a reason. Okay, so I just dropped the link in the chat if you guys need more support with any of these things here. Okay, so I'm going to put that in the chat. Okay, and I'm also going to stop sharing my screen. Carlotta says, I'm going to need you, coach. LOL. Yes, girl, I'm here. Any questions? Or you can actually schedule a call to see if I could even help. And let me know what you want to work through. We can talk, see if I can coach, see if I can help. And yeah. Okay, so we do have about 10 minutes, and I'm here to take any like last minute questions.
I think I do have a question. So, for the 2-week heavy metal detox, right?
Hmm.
So even after the 2 weeks, we're still going to be drinking those juices, right? Or is it just after the 2 weeks we just do astringent fruits?
That's a really good question. So after those 2 weeks, I do recommend adding in those juices as like a form of something to eat. So like not only are you doing the herbs, you can also do the astringent fruits and you can also do the juices here and there because the parsley is actually really good for the blood as well. So yeah, you can add that in there.
Okay. Um, and while I'm doing the heavy metal cleanse, right? Am I doing the astringent fruits or is that after?
Yes, so every single part of this like cleanse, you're always doing astringent fruits as your like that's your food.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so think of that as the food, and then the herbs and the protocols is like the actual cleanse itself.
Okay.
Mhm. Yeah, guys.
So what do we do for proteins?
Yeah, so proteins, because since we are cleansing, we don't want to focus on protein right now because it wouldn't make any sense because protein is like built up of amino acid. It's more for building. So when we're cleansing, we tend to get off of the proteins.
Okay.
Mhm. But typically though, like after after the parasite cleanse, so after the 16 weeks, there will be a period, and I can walk you guys through that as well. Like if you guys are ever in the academy or whatever. But I'll walk you guys through how to maintain, like how to like transition back into starting to eat regular foods because I don't want you guys here to make the mistake of going straight back into eating regular because that can actually harm the body and like that can cause a lot of bloating and discomfort. So remind me to make a video or if anyone needs support on how to like slowly build back and going back into like eating solid food again because I think that would help.
I was wondering if you can do like a 1 week like week one video like to coach us through it like saying like okay this is week one, this is what you should be doing. At the end of the week we should have a discussion on how that first week went, just to encourage us to keep going.
Hmm. I
I mean
actually,
if you have the time.
yeah. Well, I do have an academy that kind of does that. So, what we could do if that helps is like, um, if you guys are interested in that academy, then we can do that. But I do have a Facebook group. I'm not sure if you guys are in that. I'll send that to you guys. Where we kind of do accountability there. So there's two options. There's the actual academy that we have for the accountability. And what you could do is like I sent in. Yeah, I sent in the calendar so you can book in the calendar too, and then I'll send you the the Facebook one because that one is like everyone's in there. Um, because I think that will help too. Hold on, let me send that.
Okay, as far as like weight loss, like we should be losing weight in the process, right?
Yeah, so if you have a lot of inflammation, yeah, you should be losing that for sure.
Okay, so you think it's best we scale like weigh ourselves before we start and like the end of the 16 weeks, like see how far we went, like will that like
Um, that I mean that's a way that you can do it, yeah. But I think like if your goal is to also like lose parasites and lose weight, I think yeah, that would be really effective to get on the scale and then see how much you lost in the meantime. But like if your goal is mainly for parasites, then you don't really have to like weigh yourself too much. I
okay.
think because you will lose weight. But if you're like count like if you have like a set goal, then I think that would make like a lot more sense to get on the scale and then count it, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So I sent the Facebook group, but yeah, typically we have kind of that in a more intimate setting in our academy. So if you guys are interested and you feel called to join, then you can hop on a call and see if like the academy would help. Okay. Do- All right, guys. Anybody else have any more questions before we end it off? But yeah, I did put a calendar link. So if you guys want to speak directly with me, to see like what may need to be tweaked or like if you guys need more help on like what to do, like how to kind of walk through week one, like if you don't have access to the herbs, like what herbs to take as an alternative, then I put my calendar link so we could talk about that in the chat. So if anybody needs any additional support, that's there for you. Okay.
I had, sorry, I have one last question. Okay, for the sauna, right? How often do you recommend us to do that? It's like, is that like every day or a couple times a week?
Yeah, I recommend doing sauna like a couple times a week, like minimum two, but max I would say like 3 times a week to 4 times a week in there. So like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, that's really good. That's ideal. But minimum twice a week for sure.
Okay.
Mm. All right, guys. Okay, I'm gonna stop recording.